down this opaque blue and we're going to build this opaque green Super Sport. So we're going to kind of do a opaque blue switcheroo. I've done one of those before, but we're just going to take everything off of this and put it on this, because this one has a big crack here that I welded a long time ago. Yeah, well, we'll get to that later. Let me put this to the side and we'll start stripping this down. Okay. Wonder if I should move this back a little bit. Watch out, boys. Our dogs are sleeping down here. I think I'm going to scare them. I'm going to try to move this a little bit. It's okay, guys. We're just moving this a little. Okay, good boys. Yeah, we don't want to scare our dogs too much. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, is let's concentrate on the front and get the front brakes, and we're going to use these forks. Obviously, I'm not going to spray these forks opaque green in the house. But yeah, we're going to put these opaque blue forks on the opaque green frame. Maybe someday I'll find a chrome replacement, or possibly even an opaque green fork, but it's doubtful. People hold on to the opaque green stuff pretty hard. All right, so let's get some of this front stuff off and go from there. I think the first thing we're going to do is undo the brake cables. Actually, let's see. Could we leave this all together? Yeah, let's leave this together as a unit. Maybe we'll just get lucky and let's see now. No, let's take the cable off. It's just better that way, you know. Yeah, let's do the right thing. So hope everyone's doing okay. Thanks for tuning in, and I don't know how long we're going to take today. I don't think it's going to be one of those super quick ride it in the living room builds. I'm kind of taking my time on this one. There's some gearing issues. I don't have the half-length chain I might need. We'll see. Okay, let's pop this little protector off and get it out of there. A little aluminum protector on here. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys are all right. There we go. Little eye protector, you know. Keep you from getting poked in the eye. All right, we're just going to do the right thing. Take this completely out because we're changing the whole fork and everything. So I'd like to leave it as a unit, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so the back one, yeah, let's undo the back one too. Give me a second here. Okay, let's get a wrench on this back one. We might as well undo the back one too. Notice how my dogs are just quietly sleeping. They've been accustomed to this. They're quite used to me working on bikes now in the living room in the winter. In the summer, you know, I don't really do a lot in here, but in the winter, they're quite accustomed to it. If you notice, they're just kind of, you know, lounging. One's over here, one's there in the prime spot by the door where there's sun. And yeah, they just kind of lounge. Good dogs. They think they want outside, and it's bright and deceiving. And then they go outside and they want back in. It's a never-ending battle. The struggle is real. Okay, let's get this off of here. And I actually have the right wrench today, not just winging it with a pair of pliers. It's nice to have two 9mm wrenches for this. You know, on bikes, it's like you need 8, 9, 10 millimeter. You need a 15, 14. You need some specialty tools, but you don't need a lot. You can get by with just a few hand tools, unless it's some fancy dancy mountain bike. Okay, we'll save that. All right, let's take this out. Another thing about super sports is they don't have that little barrel to worry about. This is brazed on, so there's no little barrel that falls out on the ground when you're doing cables. It's kind of interesting, you know. That little piece is much lighter than the barrel and the big Electroforge pieces on Continentals and Varsities. So they were thinking about weight. I mean, as much as they could on an old Schwinn 10-speed. I mean, give me a break, man. And even the Super Sport's probably 24 pounds, you know. The frame is probably, I don't know what the Super Sport weighs, but it's not really, they call it a Schwinn lightweight, but yeah, it's not really a lightweight bike. Okay. And back in the day it was, though. Hey, you know. All right, so let's get this back brake off, or this front brake. And then we'll go from there. Actually, leave the front brake on. It can come off as a unit with the forks. Let's get this stem out. I think it's a 12 or a 13. Let's see what we got here. Here's a 12. Let's see. Is it a 12? Jury's out. It's a 12. Imagine that. So we're just going to leave this all together. Later, I will change that green bike to upright bars. But right now, we're just going to throw these in. It's all cabled up. The bars are wrapped. It's got the safety levers. Yeah, I do want to convert this to upright bars, but not today. We're kind of a little pressed for time. Let's take this off. Get a couple threads up there. Take your brass or bronze hammer, support the vehicle, and whack it. It's okay, boys. And they're not quite totally used to me yet with the hammer, but a couple more years, they'll be fine. Now, hopefully, if I built this bike probably 4 years ago. It's only got a few rides on it because it was so high geared, and I was always worried about this crack right here. I welded, you know, I brazed it. So it's probably got about 20 miles on it. It's just been sitting because I was always afraid of this crack. So hopefully somebody put some grease in here and it just comes out. And it is greasy. That is a great deal. So we'll put this down on the floor here where no dogs can trip over it. All right, so there's the center pole piece. Yeah, I got to get a towel. Hang on a sec. Hey, what's going on here? Give me a second. Let's get a towel over here. Bear with me. I'm here. I'm still here. Don't worry. Okay, we got a paper towel. We'll wipe this off a little bit. I think I was a little over exuberant on the grease when I was building this. Okay, yeah, it's greasy in there. And that's all the way up, huh? I wonder why. Probably I was adjusting the brakes. All right, so we're going to take this out as a unit. And we'll take, yeah, let's take this wheel off real quick. Oh, quick release is awesome. Yes, look at that. Okay, this is nice, pretty nice 700C wheel. It doesn't match. These don't match, but it's fairly straight. It's not bad. Better than that other bike I was working on. Okay. All right, put that to the side. Let's take this back wheel off real quick. Yeah, and then we'll take the forks off. Now I did cheat a little bit. I have the cranks ready to go that go in here with the Originate. I had to machine a special part for it, but I cheated a little bit. I'll show you in a second. Okay, back wheels off. We're doing good. All right, let's take. We need the seat and post. Looks like I put a little sexy double Allen. Hello? Hi. Hey, hi, I'm doing a live feed right now. Can I call you back? You could go on my channel and look and watch Grandpa work. Okay, love you. Oh, looks like we got some definite viewers on that one. You got to work it, you know. You got to get those subscribers. Make little kids, make them subscribe. Okay, so I did pretty good on this. I got a little, kind of a nice Allen wrench. This is kind of a nice little item. I don't think it's stock Schwinn. It's got a little, instead of a bolt, it's got this little Allen that goes through there. It's got the little notch-a-roo that goes in there. It's kind of nice, you know. I don't think that's a stock Schwinn thing. It might be. Okay. All right. So if this is in here like I built it and I knew what I was doing, and maybe I put some grease in here, we'll see. Maybe it'll come out. Oh yeah, look at that. Faulkner Fixes all thinking about the next guy, me. Okay, so we got the seat out, and we're gonna take this clamp off. That's being silly. I got it. Okay, so now we're almost ready to ditch this frame off to the side and put the green one on. Almost. Let's take the fork out. Yeah, actually, let's take the back brake off. We're almost ready to just ditch this frame to the side and put the green frame up here. And if you're watching, hi everybody. You know, this is just what I do. This is what I do on a Saturday. Just hang out, making greasy stuff happen in your living room. It's fun. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna put this green frame on here as soon as I get that fork out. And once I get the fork out, we'll put the green frame in, and we'll put the blue fork on the green frame. I know I can't find the green fork. It's just the way it is. And man, this is being silly. Okay, we got it. We got it. Come on now. All right, so we're just gonna put this back together, kind of, so I don't lose everything. It's an old, bike shop trip. You just kind of put things back together so you don't lose stuff later when you throw it down on your bench. All right, so we're done except the fork. Now, hopefully this fork will come right out. And I already took I took the stem out like a dumb bunny. Okay. We got to put the stem back in just for a second to use it as leverage to get this fork bolt out, because I skipped a step here. And, it happens. So we're going to tighten this up just temporarily. It doesn't have to be straight. We're just using this to hold it while we undo this nut here. Yeah, I skipped a step. Sorry, it happens. All right, so we're going to undo this. Now see, I was able to grab the bar. Instead of sticking my leg in the fork, I was able to grab the bar and get that off. Okay, so we're golden there. Let's take this back off. And we have to hit it with our brass hammer once more. Always brass or bronze, not a steel one. Okay. There, we got that out of there. All right, let's put this to the side. Once we get this fork off, we're going to put this nice green frame on. You guys are going to love this opaque green frame. It's 1 year only, super sport only. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe opaque green is super sport only for 1972. 1 year color only for the super sport. Now, I could be wrong, but I've done a little bit of research, and my knowledge tells me, wait till you see this other frame. It's beautiful. Oh, come on now. Come on now, be nice. Talk to it. It's good. Okay, we got that washer off. That's a pretty important washer. There's a little notch in there that helps things out. You don't really need it with center pull, but it's nice to have. All right, so let's take this off. And we will ditch this opaque blue frame and put the sexy opaque green. 1 year only. 1 year only, folks. I'll just set this down here. There's plenty of grease on that. I think I will put grease in the green frame, but for now, this is it. We're getting rid of this frame. There's a crack right here that I brazed many years ago. I don't trust it. The paint's marginal and it's got to go. Although it's not too bad, but there's a crack there. There's a crack there I brazed. So I don't trust it. So away this goes. Just switch this out with this one. And up comes the opaque green. 1 year only. Opaque green. Super Sport. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 1 year only for the Super Sport only. And yes, it's my size. And yes, I'm going to keep it. You can buy that blue frame if you want. $10. Okay. So this cone is okay. I cleaned this one out a little bit. We're just going to shove some new grease in here. And we're going to put the opaque blue fork on. I know. It's sacrilege. But that's what we got. I don't have a replacement chrome one. And I don't have a green one. Until I find a green one or a chrome fork, this is what we got. It's called getting happy. Okay. Put a little grease here. And I think we'll shove that fork in. We might put a little grease on that other cone. We'll see. All right, let's put this fork in. And we might put a little bit in there too. Let's just get this rolling here. We got to keep rolling. Okay. I can't mix our grease, you know. Brown grease with red grease. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so the bottom bearing is a little bit bigger. And the top bearing goes in this little holder, and it's a little smaller. We'll clean that up in a second. Let's put some fresh grease in this top holder. I'm just going to clean that out a little bit. And put some fresh grease in this top holder. So that's what we do. And we'll put the smaller bearing in the top. That's right in there. And get it all happy. That looks pretty happy to me. All right, so let's pop it in. We got fresh grease in this bottom cone. You already saw that, right? Okay. Oh my God, it's actually gonna fit. It's the same frame. Actually, that blue frame is a August of 72. And this green frame is also an August of 72. So this fork is correct. It's just the wrong color. Hey, blue and green, it's okay. You know. Okay. All right, let's wipe off the excess. And my dog wants outside. Yeah, buddy, if I let you outside, you're going to want inside in about 8 seconds. Okay, folks, let's time it. I'll let him out, and we'll see how many minutes it takes for him to come back in. Okay, buddy. Here you go. You want out too? Okay. I give him about 4 minutes. Okay. What time is it now? It's well, about 1:51. Okay, I'll give him till 2 at the very latest. They'll both want back in. Okay, I got more towels. Hang on. All right, let's wipe this baby off. You guys still here? Yes, you are. Can't have loads of grease on your beautiful opaque green frame. Okay, so let's put this. We'll put the adjuster. Oh, we'll put this item on next. The washer with the little peg on it. You see the peg, and then. Oh dear. There's some issues out there. Okay, we'll put this on. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. We got the washer underneath there. This is tight and then backed off a little. Got that on there. And then just to make sure, this is a bit dry and rusty in here. We're going to make sure, we're going to put a little bit of grease in there too. We'll put a little grease on the threads. Oh, there's plenty of grease on those threads, but yeah, it's always good to have grease on these threads. For the next guy, me. Okay, we now have an opaque blue fork on an opaque green frame. And dogs that are barking and nothing. Give me a second, folks. What are they barking at? Oh. It's, oh. They're barking at a very small Dachshund dog that our neighbor's walking. That's a big threat. You know, those wiener dogs, they've got to be eliminated. Okay. Threat is over. All right, we're just going to give this a little snug right now. I don't have the bars to hold, and this is not adjusted where I want it. We're just going to snug it. In fact, that's too tight. I can tell that's too tight. We'll put the final tighten on it later once we get it on the ground and feel how it feels. We're just going to snug it up just a little for now. Yeah, that's pretty good for now. Okay, let's put the bars in real quick. And these already have a little grease on them from when I built it last time. We'll put a little fresh on there, though. You know, that's how we are. Put some fresh stuff on here. Put some in the tube. There you go. Put a little bit on here. Put a little bit on these threads here. The threads that do the pinching, you know, put some on there. That's good for you. Okay, grease is good. You don't need gobs of it, but you need some. Okay, and there's a little notch here. You see the notch right there? It goes in that. So it's good to kind of get that ready and tighten it a little bit. Not to spread that out, but just to get that notch where that's going to find its happy home. And get that ready. That way, that's not spinning around there, messing up this soft aluminum, because this is steel and this is aluminum. It's good to get it ready, kind of, you know. Oh, Scout wants back in. Oh, it's been 4 minutes. Okay, let me let my dog in. But Scout, it's only been 4 minutes. You want in, buddy? Yeah, it's gonna have to rename this channel Faulkner's Dog Show. Come on, you too. Oh, he's doing stuff. Okay, well, he's in. He's helping out. All right, so we got that on. Let's tighten up those bars just temporarily. I'm fairly tall, so we're just going to put them up here above this minimum insertion line, which is about there. And we're not going to get too super critical on this now. This is just to hold it so I can put everything together. Once we get it on the ground, then I'll stand over it, sit on it, and see where I want things, you know. But for now, it's just a light snug to keep it kind of together. All right, so now we could even put the front wheel on if we wanted to, and we do. Like I said earlier, this is a mismatched set of rims. It's just what I got. It's what I built this bike with. And at the time, I didn't know just how much I was going to be getting into this with that cracked frame. But now that I have a different frame, we might change these wheels out to something better. Who knows? Yeah, it's being a little difficult here. It's being a little wedgy. It is not cooperating. Oh, there we go. There's one. Yeah, this is kind of screwy. I have to spread the fork and lift up at the same time. This wheel is definitely not for this. There is a way though. I had it in here, right? Making me look silly. There we go. I can't get it. Okay, let's get back to that later. We'll get back to that in a minute. All right, let's put the cranks in. All right, we got these cranks over here. Okay, if you looked at the other video, I had to machine this part a little bit. It was kind of lame. The Origin 8 company. You know, I was thinking about this, like, if it doesn't fit this adapter, then why are these holes here on the gear for the 130 millimeter side if it doesn't fit the adapter? So, you know, do your job at the factory so some guy doesn't have to chuck this up in his lathe and take a few thousandths off of this to clear the chain. I'm not complaining, but the average person doesn't have a mini lathe, okay? So that's an issue. So if you're gonna offer this 38 tooth gear with the adapter on the same side next to each other to buy, maybe a guy shouldn't have to machine it. Okay. Oh, we got some comments. All right. Hey, Randy. Good afternoon from snowy northern Michigan. Oh, doing some riding up there, are you? It's pretty cold here too. I haven't done any test rides lately, so yeah. Well, good afternoon to you too, Randy. See, Brett Staub. Good afternoon from Newburgh, Indiana. I bet you it's pretty cold up there too, buddy. You doing a little afternoon riding up there for the game? Oh, I don't know if anybody watches football anymore, but you know, if you do, I'm trying to time this so it's not cutting into your NFL time, you know, because you know I might watch a little bit too. And Brett said, "What do you call the piece that bolt goes into and expands inside the tube?" Dang, some people call that. It's not a quill. It's not a quill stem. It's I have to look that up. I think they just call that the expander cone or something. I'm sure there's some incredibly complex. I heard someone call it an expander wedge, a wedge, expander wedge. We'll have to look that up. Yeah, that's. I call it annoying because just make sure that notch is lined up when you do it. Otherwise, the notch spins around and gyrates into the aluminum, and you know, soft and steel. It has some problems. Okay, hey, we got to keep going here. Oh yeah, we're gonna put the cranks in, and for that, we're gonna put some fresh grease in here. I actually went to the store and bought some fresh grease for you guys. Okay. So these cones, I actually pounded these cones out of the blue frame because they were clean, and I didn't feel like cleaning the cones that were in this. They're saying it's the same cone. It's the same, actually the same month and year frame. That opaque blue Super Sport is the exact same month and year. It's funny. It's hilarious. And I don't remember stripping down a Schwinn and putting it on the exact month. But hey, you know, when you're that good, you know, you're good. Okay, so we're gonna put some fresh new red grease here. You don't need gobs. I'm just putting a little on. You know, it's not like an old 30s Mack truck where you pack the whole hub full. You know, you don't just keep packing it in there. You just need a little bit. I don't know about, maybe they don't pack them full. Okay, so we got this, and like I said, I was complaining. Origin 8 is a great company. They make great stuff. This says 130 and 110. It can go on either of these chain rings, but a 38 tooth does not clear the outer 130 millimeter. You have to chuck that in your mini lathe and take quite a bit off. So yeah, get it together, Origin 8, before I come down there and have a serious Bible hour with you. Okay, let's pop these in. These are the bearings that came out of the blue bike. They're fine. I built that a few years ago. There's nothing wrong with them. And they're nice and greasy still. Okay. Let's pop these babies on. All right, let's get the adjuster ready. Where's the adjuster? Here it is. All right. Here we go. And then I'll read some more comments because today seems to be a pretty good day for people. I'll have to take note that Saturdays, weekends are better for live feeds because people actually can be at home near their computer, not goofing off at work. Okay. I'm sure your boss would say, yeah, if you're watching how to fix bikes, that's good because you're going to be fired and not have any gas money anywhere. I hope everybody's doing good today, staying warm. It's one of those deceivingly cold days. I keep thinking I can go outside and do stuff, and I'm very wrong. It's really cold, although it's nice and sunny. Okay, we're going counterclockwise on this. I know you guys can't see, but I'm spinning this adjuster counterclockwise because it's left-hand thread. I previously have tightened this up. I did some dirty work already. It feels good. Let me wipe all this stuff off because this is just ridiculous right now. And we'll read some comments. We'll put the retaining nut on just a second. Okay. Of course, I got grease on my brand new part. Yeah, that's going to feel good. Oh, yeah. All right. Bear with me. I just need a towel just for a second. Okay. So we got the cranks in. Before I forget, let's put this little washer on. This is a pretty important washer. It has a little square notch in it. And sometimes that notch gets worn and gets smashed away, and people spin it real hard, or they drive the bike loose, or they try to tighten this bolt right-hand thread instead of left. And sometimes this washer is just gone. I mean, the square part. So it's good to make sure you got a good one of these, especially on one-piece cranks for Schwinn. You got to have it, you know. I know you guys can't see. Maybe I'll switch this around. You guys can figure it out. Yeah, I'll bring you guys around here. That's what I'll do. I'll put this on and I'll show you, and then I'll put you back. Okay. Not everybody knows this stuff. Okay, so the little square nut part goes in that little groove on the cranks, and then you put the nut on. Okay, you guys got. Don't blow it. And clean this off, you know. Make sure that's all clean. Okay, good. Now we're not going to put the final adjustment on this. We might do it right now. Counterclockwise, we're going to pretend to loosen it. It's going to go right on. Bob's your uncle. There it goes. And we might as well put the final adjustment on this right now. You can use the kickstand to help you tighten it, but we're not at that point yet. Okay, let's read a comment. Let's see here. Brett Staub, I've broken about 5 on my Schwinn bicycles and the handlebars spin uncontrollably, so I've got to find the solution to fix that. Yeah, what kind of Schwinn? What kind of Schwinn? Is it the kind I just showed you with the wedge, or is it the kind with the wedge that goes down at an angle and comes up? Probably doing the 10-speed thing like I showed you. Huh. Yeah, some stems, I'm not going to pull it out now. Well, I could. Some stems have a dual notch, and that little cone that goes in there has dual ridges that goes in. It's good to have grease on everything. Grease on the stem, grease on the thread that goes into the little wedgie poo piece. And then everything's just working together in harmony. If anything's dry, something's going to break off. It's just, and you know, if you do things on a 10-speed, you shouldn't be doing like I do. Might want to upgrade to like an Ashtabula stem or some kind of BMX stem. Goes in the Schwinn fork. A BMX stem will go in here. It looks goofy, but if you're doing stuff on a Schwinn 10-speed, you shouldn't be doing. You might want to upgrade to something that has a pinch bolt that comes in at a 45, like the BMX ones. The BMX bikes have it's like a round piece, but it's cut at a 45 and it wedges against the stem really hard, which is also cut at 45 or so. And it just expands in there. It doesn't push out the aluminum pieces of the stem. It just wedges the two pieces together in the fork. Yeah. Both. Yeah. Hey, you got to get some BMX stems, Brett. You better, come up. Yeah. It looks goofy, but you can get a BMX stem that has a really good pinch bolt. It has the pinch bolt. God, I wish I would have brought some in here. I can't run out to the garage right now, but the actual pinch bolt is shaped like a 45, but there's even ridges like machined into it. So when it pinches against the stem, let's say this is the stem and here's the 45. When it goes into that, there's these ridges into the piece and it kind of burrows into the fork. If you get something like that, you won't have a problem, but it's going to look goofy. You're not going to win any style points. All right, let's adjust this up. Yeah, feels pretty good right now. But if I crank on this, it's going to be too tight. I know it. Now it's too tight, so we're going to loosen up the adjuster a little bit. There we go. Not bad. Okay, so now we're gonna put the stem down. Oh, you guys can't see nothing. We're putting the kickstand down, and now we're gonna get over here and put the final tighten on this bolt. See, that's gonna whack against there, and we're gonna tighten up this bolt. No problem. That's a little tight. Okay, I said we're going to put it against the kickstand and tighten it up. The final tighten. Didn't I say that already? Okay. There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's wipe a little more of that excess grease off. I can see a bunch down here. Okay. I can also see my machining I did. It's not the greatest. If you look down here, and you spin this, and you look right here, you can see the aluminum going up and down, but the gear staying the same. So that means that I had that off center in the lathe. I machined that washer. You can look back at my last video, and I machined this washer to fit in there, and then I put it in the lathe. And, it wasn't running centered. It wasn't running true. And you can see, let's see if you can see. Anyway, my machining process wasn't that great, but it's going to work. The chain's going to clear, so that's all that matters. We aren't going to the Tour de France with my 72 Super Sport. I don't think I'm young enough for that. All right, so what's Brett talking about? I have one tandem and about 29 various types of Schwinns from the 60s through 1983. Good year to cut off. 83. Yeah, that's a good year to stop collecting Schwinns. that's like Ford Thunderbird. Oh, I stopped collecting Thunderbirds in 73. Ford Thunderbird 70s. Okay, yeah, it's a good year to stop. Man, the tandem. What year is the tandem? Is it one of those really old ones with the curved sprint bar kind of thing in the back near the back seat post, or is it just a normal? I've had a few of those. I've sold a few. Yeah, they're hard to sell. It's a tough sell. You gotta love those tandems. You gotta just love them for what they are. You're not gonna make a ton of money on those things. Okay, I'm all jacked up on caffeine. Got these cranks in. A dog wants back in. Imagine that. This dog made it about 20 minutes. Come on, buddy. You did good. You did 20 minutes instead of 4. Your brother over there, he only made it 4 minutes. Okay, so we got the cranks in. They look pretty good. My machining has something to be desired. All right. Yeah, the gear itself is centered. My machining job isn't the greatest, but the chain is going to clear. All right, we got cranks. Let's see. Let's put the back brakes on. What the heck? They're right here. And 75. I bet you it's either. Hey Brett, I bet you I can guess what color that tandem is. It's either 1975, it's either root beer brown, Sierra brown, I think they called it Sierra brown, or campus green. Yeah, I bet you it's campus green with the green sparkly grips front and back. Am I right? It's probably green. Oh, I'm sorry about your internet. Yeah, it's rough. Ours kind of sucks here too. Okay, great time to kind of clean this bar up, but we're not going to. We're just going to put this brake on. Great time to clean the brake too, but we're not going to. Okay. Well, I'm glad we had a few people watching today. I've kind of timed it so it wouldn't be taken away from any major NFL games. And weekend is always better than getting people in trouble watching it from their job or something. Here's a ratcheting 10. It's very cheap, but it's useful. This is the world's cheapest ratcheting 10 millimeter, but it's kind of nice to have when you're doing brakes. They're usually 10 millimeter, unless it's some of the older Schwinn cruisers, Schwinn racers, and Schwinn 3-speeds, like pre-63 or something. The bolt that holds the Schwinn approved brake on is like a 7/16 or 11 millimeter. And some English bikes also, probably Wentworth thread, but it's something like on a 7/16. Yeah, it's pretty rare to find a brake nowadays, a vintage brake anyway, that doesn't fasten to the 10 millimeter. And see, isn't that nice? Got your little ratcheting action, even though it's the cheapest wrench in the world. That just saved me a few minutes. All right, well, we're not going to put the final tighten on that yet. I'm just going to leave that on there. All right, let's put this cable back through. And like I said, Super Sports don't use the barrel connector here. It's brazed on the frame, which is really nice. And since this is the exact same frame as that one, same month and everything, since that's the exact same frame, we don't have to mess around with cables. This is pre-cabled. Imagine that. So we're just going to pop it in there and go for the flow. Look at that. Ready to go. Like I knew what I was doing. I got people fooled. I got the whole internet fooled. Hey man, have you seen Faulkner Fixes All? The guy knows what he's doing. Got you guys all fooled. Okay. Let's put this clamp on. Oh, right, we got to put the clamp on. Let's not chip up the frame, though. I'll show you another technique for that. It's nice not to chip up your beautiful frame. So you take 2 screwdrivers or 2 implements, and you put them in there, and you pry this open. You pry it open so you don't chip the paint on the frame. I will show you. Not so much on Super Sports, but on the other Schwinns especially. So you pry this open a little bit, and then you can put it right on without chipping up the frame. It should go down a little more, I think. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let's put this post and seat in. And got to put some grease on here. You know, you just have to. That's what you have to do. And we got a little grease. Don't need much. It's for the next guy taking it apart. You know, it's going to be me. Yeah, we'll put this way down. It's a really tall frame to begin with. And I can raise it up later, but I think we're going to put it pretty far in there for now. And I got lots of grease on my hands. Okay, what's going on? Ah, it's green. I knew it. Campus green. What did I say? Sierra brown or campus green with the matching green grips. Yeah, cool. Well, 50% guess. A lot of those were green. Man, so many were brown and green. Okay, I got a story about a tandem. You guys want to hear the Schwinn tandem story? Let me read this other comment first. Brett Staub, my girlfriend and I haven't sold any. Our goal was to learn how to fix them, and it's been a great hobby since we quit drinking 4 years ago. So we watch videos and sit in the floor with the grandkids. Hey, we quit drinking in 2018. Good for you, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to be aware, sober. Good for you, bro. Anyway, working on old bikes will get you in tune with the world. You don't need anything else. Okay, I'll tell you. You guys want to hear about the funny tandem story? Let me know, and I'll tell you about the funny tandem story. But let's keep going here. All right, we got this piece, which is conducive to center pull in the rear bikes. On some girls' super sports, there's a little pulley right here, and the cable is welded here. The cable comes down and there's a little ferrule welded here, and then it goes up to this little wheel and then to the brake. And it's kind of a rare, if you're working on a girl's super sport, that's kind of a rare part to get. So I do have one. I did save that. All right, let's put this in. There's no grease on that. Dude, put some grease on that. Okay, we'll put a little grease on there. You know, hey, it's good. It's good. All right, let's pop it in here. Dang it. Come on now. Don't make me look stupid. Yeah, I got the whole internet fooled, man. I have no idea what I'm doing. I started faking working on bikes when I was 12, and I just kept going. Absolutely no idea. Okay. Is that the one? Oh, there it is. It's right there. I see the notch. There's a little notch on here. Oh, come on now. There we go. Oh, I see it. Man, dang it. You guys are distracting me. There we go. There we go. Okay, pop this in here. There's the notch. It's not quite getting in there. Let's try it. Oh, I see. This thing is kind of being difficult. Okay, let me get some grease off my hands and we'll see what we can do here. I think I got to press it in a little bit. Okay, where's the pliers? Half the time is just searching for tools. It's great. Okay. Oh, okay. And Randy wants to hear the funny tandem story too, huh? Okay. Well, it's kind of funny. Okay, so I used to have this bike shop in Berkeley called the Krusty Wheel. And my buddies used to come over on Friday. They know I'd close early and we'd all go riding around. And they could kind of go through the shop and pick what they wanted to ride. Well, not a customer's bike, but you know, I had a bunch of old clunkers in there for people to buy at Berkeley campus. Would come buy bikes from me and I'd fix them. And they could pick one of my bikes if they wanted to. And so at that particular moment, I had a couple Schwinn cruisers, you know, nothing to write home about. They got picked. And my buddy JD, he was like, well, there's nothing left for me. What about that one? I said, no, that's a customer's bike. You're on the tandem with me. It was a Sierra brown or root beer brown. I forget exactly what they called it. It was brown. It had brown grips. It was a 1-speed coaster brake tandem. the front wheel had a big ding in it. And the front brake would kind of grab on the ding a little bit, but it was a coaster brake. So I said, okay, JD, we're going to go up and get some pizza. We're going to go driving around Berkeley. And here's the deal. When I say coast, you coast. It's a coaster brake tandem. The person in back of you can't be overriding you. When I say, brake, you pedal backwards and brake. And, on a tandem, when everything's right, the cranks are even. So when that person's braking, the back person's braking too. So when I say coast, you coast. When I say brake, you brake. When I say, jump on it, that means you pedal really fast because we're trying to avoid something. Jump on it. I probably should have used a different word. Anyway, so we're having a good time, bombing around Berkeley, scaring people, bunch of us. And these kids on this street, they had this little ramp set up for skateboards. And they were like, come on, dude. Like the people ahead of me that were on my bikes, they did these jumps. And I was like, hey, JD, there's jump ahead, jump ahead. So he stands up and starts pedaling. And I didn't realize that, he was thinking that there was something to pedal fast about. He couldn't see in front of us. And I said, jump ahead. And he thought I meant jump on it. So he's pedaling really fast. And we went over the jump. And, on a tandem, well, the guy in the back doesn't do too well on jumps. He never got on another tandem with me in his life. I don't think he got on another tandem the rest of his life. I think he had some issues coming down with his feet off the pedals. So yeah, get your words right when you're riding a tandem. Make sure people know, especially the coaster brake tandems. Anyway, yeah, that was fun, and yeah, good times. Okay, so we got to get this in here. It's being annoying. It's really being annoying. I might have to get back to that, just like that front wheel. Okay, so that was my funny tandem story of today. If you've got something better about tandems, let me know. They had those kind in the 30s with the guy in the back had this, I think it's a Coulson, and the guy in the back, the person in the back, there was a chain running to the front fork, and the person in the back kind of overpowered the person in the front, it was kind of a sexist deal, but the part of the front part of the tandem was a lady's frame. And I guess they figured, oh, the guy should be in control no matter what, like whatever. But they had this chain leading to the fork, and you could kind of, muscle your way in. Okay. Get this. I'm tired of messing around here. Get this in here. There we go. Got it. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have ignition. See, if I just stop talking for a minute, I could actually get some stuff done. Okay, so that's where we want it. Let's put the cable thing on, and then we'll deal with the back wheel. Up and in, and since it's the exact same frame, this is the exact same month and year frame and the same height, we have no problems with these cables. They are correct and they're good. And, oh, is it wrong? Oh, look at that. Huh. Wow. I'm wrong, folks. What's wrong here? Oh, we got to take a measurement. Huh. Wow. I blew it. I'm wrong. This frame. Huh. How can that be? Oh, this frame. The standover height. Huh. That's 22 and a half. Let's measure this other one. Huh. Wow, here I was all thinking it was the exact same frame. Yeah, huh. The cable is a little bit, the top tube is a little longer. And this is a 24. Let's see what this one is. Huh, interesting. 24. Then why am I having a problem? This should be exactly the same. Huh. Interesting. Wow. Well, I don't have any housing with me in here. Well, we don't need housing. We're making a fixed gear, right? So back out we go. Let that hang for a minute. Let's work on the back wheel, eh? All right, so we're going to put this 21. We're going to put this Mr. Control. We're going to put this on the fixed gear side. Previously, I did loosen this up a little bit. This part's left-hand thread. I did use a chain whip on this. This is right-hand thread. And we're going to take this off. I think that's an 18. 17? Huh. Let's see what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Huh, that's a weird one. Usually they're 18. All right, this is a nice little drilled gear, but we're not going to use it. Not where we're going, son. I'm going to put this Mr. Control. All right, let's put some, we'll wipe this off a little bit and put a little fresh grease on these threads. All right. Just to make it so there's a little bit of, so you can get that gear off. You know, sometimes you have a heck of a time getting these off. I'll show you the tool that I used. It's a chain. It's a chain wrench. And we'll use it to tighten this up too. All right, so we're going to put this on. Pretty sure. Yeah. Usually the little lip, see the lip there? The little edge. It's hard to show you, but it's, you know, that edge that sticks out. That usually goes towards the inside of the hub. So we're going to go backwards till we hear it click. There's one. Okay, so now we went backwards for it to click. Now we're going to thread that on, and there's lots of extra grease on there that looks unsightly. Okay, so now you're going to use the chain whip tool, and we're going to tighten it. Although the first time you ride this will definitely tighten up. The human legs are some of the strongest things on the human body, besides the mind. So we're going to use the chain whip. It's just a little tool that catches things. And nothing fancy. You can make one of these if you want. And we're going to go right-hand thread. And that will tighten up a little more when you pedal it. I just don't want the lock ring to do all that extra work and get loose. So it's good to kind of give it a little tighten. All right, let's take this little. I could use the old one, but the old one only has 2 notches and it's kind of thin and cheesy looking. So we're going to use this new one that came with the Mr. Control. We're going to use that one. 30 foot-pounds of torque, huh? Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. All right, so it even has a little arrow on there. Oh, yeah, because I don't know which way it goes. You know, it has 30 pounds of torque. And what does it say there? Is a thread on there? Oh, yeah, 40N. Look at that. It even has the thread. Yeah, good. All right, so we're going to go backwards. See, it's left-hand thread, so we're going backwards. Hopefully it's the right one. Doesn't seem like it wants to thread on. Oh, there we go. We're going backwards. There we go. Now we're going to use the wrong tool. It's right here. And we're going to go backwards. I have to put this on the ground for a second, guys. Yeah, you can come down here with me. There we go. Okay, put the wheel on the ground and push down backwards. It's good to make that noise. It means you're doing something. All right, so we've got extra grease in there that's very unsightly. That's what we got. All right, that's good. All right, so we got a 22 on here. Yeah, we got a 22. And you know what? We're going to put a 24 on this side because we're that special. 24 freewheel, but we're not going to use the freewheel today. I did undo this. I'll show you the tool I used. It's homemade. Here it is. Yeah, it's homemade, but it works. You take this nut off, put it in there. I got it off, so we don't have to struggle with that right now. All right, got the 18. I think that's an 18. It's toast. Yeah, it's not too good. Yeah, it's not that good. And I got another 18, which I could use, which is pretty good. Or we could put this one I didn't want to put on the other day. It was really noisy, but I put some grease in it. So I'm sure the machine tolerances are perfect. All right, so I'm going to put this 24 on, and we're going to see if we can make it switch between the two and use the same chain. On this particular one, there's a little spacer here, and we're going to clean all this nasty goo off those threads because we have to. And that would be a great time to repack the hub, by the way. We're not going to do that. Yeah, I repacked it when I built the bike last time, a couple years ago. Just been sitting in the basement. It's probably fine. All right, so let's put some fresh grease on these threads. Not too much this time. It was messy last time. Okay, we got that. And we're going to put this made in China Shengfeng 24. Okay. And there's no tool to take that off. So if I want to take this off, I got to take it apart and use a hammer and a cold chisel and just knock it off of there. So, oh, let's put the spacer back on too. I don't know if we need that, but we'll see. Let's clean that spacer up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if we actually need that, but it was on there before. So I'm going to put it on there again. And here we go in his right-hand thread. And we'll go backwards till we hear a click, or we'll just wing it. You know, I don't think it needs that. I don't think it needs that spacer. Well, yeah. It's pretty noisy. All right, let's use the chain whip and whip it into shape. All right, good. Yeah, it's not really the right chain for it, but yeah, we might have to go like this. Okay, you guys still with me? All right. Okay, chain whip successful. And we now have a 24, 22 fixed. And let's see what we can do. Get rid of some of this junk. Yeah, all right. All right, so we're going to set this up for fixed gear because I blew it on the cabling. All right. 235, and we don't have a running bike. Oh, we got to get this piece out of here. I forgot about that. There's a little piece here that when you have a geared bike with gears, it helps this side stay where it needs to be. But we're not going there with gears. I'll show it to you as soon as I get it off. It'd be nice to have the right wrench. There it is. Yeah, that's just a little, it's just a little piece that goes in the other side of the non-freewheel side of the frame. And it helps you center the quick release wheel when you put it in there. Just keeps it centered. And the other piece would be a derailleur here that would keep you centered. But they just put this in here. Wow, look at the wear. Somebody had a fixed gear hub on this already. Look at the wear right here. Somebody had this way up close. Should be in the middle there. Huh. Somebody was using it. Okay, let's put this wheel on and we'll put it right in the middle of the adjustment and we'll put a chain on it and we'll see what happens. And this one went right on. Imagine that. Oh, yeah, that's the fixed wheel side. All right, so we're going fixed wheel. Fixed, these washers in the way. I don't really like these. Huh, well, I guess they're supposed to be there. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's about in the middle of the adjustment. Maybe we could kick it back a little bit. Yeah, that's about in the middle here. And we're going to need that. So we're just going to leave it in the middle and put the whammy on it and then go from that. And if the chain works, right? We'll worry about the freewheel side later. Maybe we get a half link or something like that. Right now, we got a fixed gear hub and it's in. Okay, good. Yeah, that freewheel's kind of noisy. All right, let's put the chain on and see what we're gonna do. Okay, you guys heard the tandem story. Is everybody happy with that? You understand what happened? My friend JD came down hard with his feet off the pedals on a jump. When the tandem hit the front wheel first and then slammed the back down. Don't ride with sketchy people on tandems. Make sure you know who's doing stuff, you know, who's doing the safe thing. We did have helmets on, but that didn't help where his injury was. Okay, let's put this chain on real quick. All right, we got a chain and we got a master link and we have cranks in. Here's the chain tool. It's a park tool. It's a good one. Let's get you down here. So I'm just going to wing it. And we're going to put this on. Oops. No. Oh, man, am I going to have to lengthen it? No, I'm going to have to take a link out. Oops. Oh, look at that. It's not quite doing it on the gear. Oh, man, I didn't do enough machining. Oh, maybe it'll still work. Okay. If we move the wheel forward a little bit, we can take this one out and use a master link. And that would probably be the way to do it. Then you have a master link. All right. So let's take this link out right here and move the wheel forward a little bit. And then use a master link. This chain isn't the greatest chain. I don't know what I was doing riding the bike with this. Probably what I had. Well, let's chuck it up in the lathe and take it down some more. We'll see. I'm going to have to talk to those Origin 8 people. Talk to the CEO. He'll probably come right over here. The service van. And give me a, see, we took that out. That's 2 links. And we're going to put a master link in. But first, we're we're going to get the master link. Okay. This should be okay. I will see. I might have to take this all back apart and do more machining on that adapter. It feels like it's catching a little bit. We will see. And these C clips always go in the direction of the travel, the C part, because you don't want it to pop off on anything. Okay. So I'm pedaling that way, so the C would go this way. Good. Get that? Okay, it's on. My dog is groaning. Hey, stop that groaning over there. We're doing a live feed here, buddy. All right, so we're going to kick this wheel forward a little bit. There we go. That's good enough for now. We'll just put a slight snug on this so it doesn't fall on us. And we'll put this on here. Hopefully my calculations are correct. We may have to do some machining, though. I'm feeling there's some machining in our future. That's a little tight. Yeah, it's a little tight. Okay. That's right in the middle. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do some machining or use a thinner chain. Yeah, we have to do more machining. Dang it. I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Or the chain is bent. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do more machining on that piece. Such is life. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, that's pretty tight. Okay. It might wear in. Huh. You know, I think we're okay. Maybe a better chain, maybe a thinner chain. Yeah, it's not too bad. I thought we were gonna have to machine this piece some more. This piece I machined here is hitting a little bit. Let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah, let's try that. Watch that chain closely. It should pop up a little bit when that aluminum piece comes up, that shiny part. I think we're all right. I think we're gonna be okay. Yeah, it's popping up there a little bit. Yeah, I think with a better chain, I think with a thinner new chain, we'll be okay. I think we're all right. I machined enough off of it. All right, let's put a little extra tighten on that. It's a little tight. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now this probably won't work with the 24 freewheel on that side. I'll have to maybe get a 22 freewheel. Yeah, it's popping up a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna machine that more or not. Let's get you in here. Watch right here. You guys there, okay. Yeah, watch right here. See how it's popping up a little bit? Yeah, maybe a new chain. It's because I machined that part and I didn't have it centered. I think we're going to be all right. Maybe I'll use a new chain. Or if we do another part, I might take this back apart and machine a couple more thou off and try to keep it centered. But it's okay for now. We have a fixed gear bike. Yeah, might wear in. Maybe it'll wear in that aluminum piece. Maybe I should get a thinner chain. I'm not quite sure what to do. And surprisingly enough, after all that talk about how great these cables were and how these were the exact frames, this is shy. this piece of cable housing is shy. And so let's just concentrate on the front brake right now because that's what we got. Maybe that didn't change. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Down through here. Right. All right, let's try to put that front wheel back on. We were having some issues before. How's everybody doing? We're still here. All right, pedals or front wheel? We got to get the front wheel on. This is ridiculous. Come on now. Maybe you look stupid. Yes. It's naughty. Oh, it's so hardcore. It's really being difficult. I wonder why. It came off. Okay. Yeah, let's try it this way. All right. Yeah, it's got these like catch washers on it. It's really difficult. There we go. There we go. Whew. Man, that sucker. That's a tough one. Okay. Okay. We have a front wheel. It's in there pretty good. All right, let's put this pinch bolt on here. And then we'll put the pedals in. And then we're going to ride around the living room and call it a day. Because I'm kind of getting tired now. Weird about that back cable not working. Same size frame. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's really weird about that cable not working. This is the same size frame, and the cable should have worked. I just measured it, and very strange. Maybe there's a slight variation in the geometry of the frame. So the cable should have worked. I don't understand. Let's put these pedals on real quick. And they're pretty greasy already. They've been in those cranks a while. And that's a left, and this is a right. Oh, that's a left. This is a right.
Don't make that mistake.
There we go. And on these pedals, you got to use a pretty thin little wrench. A regular pedal wrench does not work. You got to use one of these, unfortunately, and you can't really get the torque you need to really tighten them super tight, but they're kind of a pedal that accepts a toe clip, which is going to be needed later. We're almost done, folks. We've got one more pedal and a bolt to tighten on the front brake. And then we're going to take it off the stand. We're going to be done. Didn't want you guys to miss out on your whole Saturday. You know, our dogs want to play and stuff, so that's stuff to do. Okay, there's the right pedal. I'm going to put the left pedal in right now. And we're going to go counterclockwise. That's what you do with a left thread. Okay, doing good. Okay, pedals are in. Let's tighten up this pinch bolt on the front brake, and we are calling it a day because I'm tired and I'm not going out to the garage and looking for more cable housing. Unbelievable. I thought this was the same size frame. Look at that. It's not, it doesn't go. It needs another inch. Wow. Learn something new every day. All right, let's get our little park tool here. It's very helpful. It's a dog. I know. Almost done, guys. You can have your living room back. It's a rough one. Good to have two 9mm for this job. Okay, take your park tool off. Always remember to take that tool back off. I could use a little adjustment here. All right. Okay, we got brakes. All right, we're taking it off the stand. Apparently, I was wrong. I don't know why. I keep trying to figure it out. It's a 24-inch frame. Oh, maybe the lug is different. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. I bet you this lug is further up. All right, let's measure the lug. Okay, there's the lug. And the lug goes exactly 5 3/8 inches to the center of that tube. So let's measure this frame. I bet you the lug is a little bit off. Yeah, I bet you it is. That's what it is. We'll figure it out, folks. Yep, this lug is 3 5/8 inches from here to the center of the tube. We figured it out. We figured it out. That's what happened. It's not me. It's you. This lug was brazed 3 5/8. It would have made it. This lug is brazed here, further up. We need a longer piece of housing, and we might even need a longer cable, but we'll get to that bridge later. We have a running bike, and we're going to test it. Let's take this cable off real quick so there's no issues. Yeah, we'll just put this to the side. You know, I might convert to upright anyway. So yeah, we figured it out. I knew we would. Something was Something was funky. All right, so let's take it off the stand and we'll give it a little test. It's only been, it's been an hour and a half. Oh, dude, I gotta work faster. Okay, we have an opaque green Super Sport fixed gear bike. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, we're going to test it right now, folks. As promised. A fixed gear living room test. Hey, buddy, move. Dude. It's exactly easy with a fixed gear, folks. Okay, we got to air up the tires. We got to adjust stuff. You know, we got to figure out this back brake because that lug is welded further up. And, you know, it'd be nice to have a green fork, but we don't have it. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in and listening to me for an hour and a half. And, you know, thanks for tuning in and subscribe, ask questions, whatever you got to do. Occasionally, I'll, if you ask me a question on one of the other videos, I'll actually go and find a particular Schwinn similar to yours or a bike like yours, and we'll just fix the problem because a lot of my bikes have the same problems yours have. All right, have a good day, man.